welcome everyone to the first ever episode of The Manic Baker. What is it? Well, it's a show on this channel where I show you how to make awesome recipes that I find online or I have in my collections or what have you. Long story short, I've done a good deal of baking in the past and, decided, well, let's see, I can combine baking and vlogging and make a show out of it. So, here we go. In the next 4 to 5 minutes or so, I will show you how to make 3 awesome recipes. 1, chocolate-covered matzah. 2, Greek yogurt cake, little mini cake things with like an Oreo crust, really good. And 3, Lembas bread. Yes, Lembas bread. Okay, so, without further ado, the chocolate-covered matzah. For the matzah, arrange 3 pieces on cookie tray layered with aluminum foil shiny side down and parchment paper. Heat up 1 cup of butter and 1 cup of brown sugar in a saucepan, mixing and boiling for 3 minutes before pouring over the matzah and placing in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit to bake. After 12 minutes, remove the tray carefully and sprinkle with 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup of chocolate chips over the hot matzah and let it sit for 5 minutes before spreading the melting chocolate. Place in the fridge to cool before breaking into pieces and then storing in the fridge. In other words, delicious. Now for the cake, I wasn't able to get any actual baking footage, but this was for a cooking challenge that a few friends and I did over the weekend, so I'm just going to walk you through what we did. For the crust, we took the Oreo cookies we were given, crushed them up, mixed them with 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and tamped it down in both muffin tins and like a brownie tray for the crust. For the cake itself, you beat a stick and a half of room temperature butter with a cup of sugar before adding 3 eggs, 1 at a time, and vanilla extract. In a separate bowl, mix 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. In yet another bowl, mix 1 cup of Greek yogurt and a 1/4 cup of honey. Then you add the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients to the starting bowl in 3 alternating additions. Then you transfer the batter over to the tins and the tray, smoothing the tops and baking them in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for roughly 35 to 40 minutes or until the tops turn golden brown. And what we did was we saved some of the yogurt honey mixture, used that as a bit of a topping, and put some chopped up strawberries on top. It was delicious. And of course for the Lembas bread, you mix 2½ cups of flour with a tablespoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt before mixing in a stick of cold butter in 8 sections with either pastry cutters, a fork, a knife, or your hands, whatever you have really. When the mixture starts looking like this, add in 1/3 cup of brown sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon, mixing thoroughly. Proceed to add the wet ingredients, a teaspoon of maple syrup or honey, and a teaspoon of vanilla, and 2/3 of a cup of milk or heavy cream, mixing until the dough starts to get thick. Then you roll it out on a lightly floured surface to about 1/2 inch thickness and cut it into squares, square with an X, before baking on a cookie tray in a 425 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 12 minutes. Then you take them out of the oven, let them cool, and eat. But be careful. I haven't heard back from my diminutive taste testers. I think they were taken over to Isengard General Hospital to get their stomachs pumped. I heard something about overeating. I frankly have no clue what's up with that. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you try some of these recipes and enjoy them as much as I have enjoyed making them and showing you how to make them. So tune in next time for another delicious episode, and DFTBA, and good baking to all.